Hi, Paul Elam with an ear for men. As promised in the last video, I'm posting this to thank the first 1,000 subscribers to this channel. I really appreciate the support and hope that you will get something worthwhile for your patronage. This also provides a good opportunity to tell you guys what my plans are for the channel. Let me start that explanation with a little history. For the past 7 years, I've put quite a bit of effort into A Voice for Men, a men's rights activist website. That time has been electrifying, stressful, satisfying, and at times pretty brutal. The mission there to facilitate the entrance of men's issues into the public discourse has been successful. We have light years to go on men's issues being addressed, but we did play a big role in kickstarting the conversation. For that, I'm quite proud and very grateful to the team of volunteers who played a huge role in making that happen. That team will now continue the work into the future, even as I will be less directly involved in the process. The transition from managing operations to figurehead and founder is one I've been looking forward to. It is the change that finally allows me to knuckle down on the work I want to do on this channel. And that serves as a perfect segue to make it a little more clear what I'm up to here. If you've seen any of the material already here, you probably have a good idea, but I will explain it just the same for anyone interested. From what I can tell, men, straight ones anyway, essentially have 4 different paths at their disposal where it concerns their relationships with women. As always, there is the path of mainstream traditionalism and the gynocentrism that comes with it, henceforth referred to as traditional gynocentrism. There is the feminist-inspired path of sycophancy and the gynocentrism that comes with that. There is game and PUA, which are more or less the same path, in my opinion, as both rely on false personas and indirect manipulation to practice. Oh, and both are as gynocentric or more as traditional gynocentrism and feminism. And then there is MGTOW, which in terms of philosophy was the first stab at an actual movement toward a non-gynocentric approach to life. I'm a big supporter of that philosophy in men's developmental lives. To be fair, though, there is a 5th road too, that of the radical MGTOW, a highly gynocentric group of men, some of whom will show up here in the comments screaming that I am leading men to their doom because I suggest that love, sex, and friendship is available from a well-screened pool of women. This item gives me a chance to address something early on. Anyone is welcome to comment here. Additionally, dissent is welcome, provided it is presented with some sort of decorum. Anyone who uses their disagreement to troll and clutter up this place with personal insults will be cheerfully banned and quickly forgotten. And that leads me to what I came here to do. As someone who has given counsel to men for 30 years, it is certain to me that human beings are a pair-bonding species, and that much to the chagrin of some who think that men's problems will be solved by swearing off women, men are still going to seek relationships with them. I've always been a lot more interested in what men are going to do versus what I or anyone else thinks they ought to do. Women are a fact of life for the vast majority of men, and pretending otherwise is a fool's errand. So with that, I propose that there is yet another path on which men can embark. That of rethinking themselves, rethinking women, and rethinking relationships without necessarily giving up on them. To do this, I have to assume that my audience is not in the PUA community and doesn't need to be. Men have bigger problems with women after they scored than before. I wish PUAs the best of luck with their work, but I am not really interested in offering advice on getting laid, even if the net result of a values-based approach takes men in that direction. My job here is to present information and opinions on men's modern relationships with women, not to insult adherents to the aptly named game. That is not nearly like that approach. Game is taking knowledge of sociobiology and women's psychology and using it to manipulate them. What I am talking about is using the same information and combining it with your values in order to weed out unworthy women and train the remainder to take off the tiara when they get involved with you. That's not manipulation, it is boundaries, something most men have been raised to sacrifice. I'll be doing videos regularly on Mondays and Thursdays, addressing the many themes that have surfaced in my years of working directly with men. It begins with material that paints a clear contrast between romantic chivalry, an outdated and now toxic way to enter relationships, and non-gynocentric pair bonding, an idea that, while not bulletproof, removes the pedestals and can prevent some of the pitfalls. I won't pretend to have any kind of panacea. Every risk you face with women will always be something about which you have to be vigilant. But some other things, like life with a constant nag, pulling your hair out trying to figure out what it will take to make that woman happy, watching big pieces of your life fall away to her whims, feeling shit upon each and every day. Now, these are things that make countless men miserable, and they are things about which you can actually do something. I won't be running out of material anytime soon. There are scores of topics to be covered in the years ahead. And I think it is particularly important to build a library of videos like this that may be helpful to young men. We are 2 consecutive generations of fatherless men headed for 3. 2 generations of men abandoned by their elders and living in a world where almost no one will speak the truth. I can't guarantee I'll always be right, but I do want this channel to be one of the places where no one is peddling lies about women. I am pretty sure men have had enough of those. Personally, I'm happy that this time has come. After years in the trenches as an activist, I am more than ready to identify simply as an advocate, offering my observations and experience to anyone who may find them useful. So in that sense, it is not just a new chapter in my work, it's a new chapter in my life. And I look forward to this one being as productive and satisfying as the last. Once again, thanks to all of you for the first 1,000 subs. I'm looking forward to your comments and your requests for topics in the days ahead. There's a link to my site, Say Goodbye to Crazy, and the Patreon page in the low bar. Till then, see you next time. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. While you're here, please hit the subscribe button. It promises you eternal life. It's right there. Also, I could use some help to keep this up. Visit the Patreon page, commit to as little as $1 per video, and give it a monthly cap so you don't overspend. With your help, I'll build a library of information that men aren't going to hear anywhere else. Thanks again. Take care.